Okay, let's get real honest for a minute. You haven't been seeing much action in your Etsy shop lately, right? If that's you, it's totally okay. And let me assure you, my friend, most online sellers have faced this dilemma and have felt stuck at one point or another, just like you. I know I definitely did when I first started my business until I tapped into a few strategies that actually started working for me. So today I'm going to share all the juicy tips with you on the top 3 things that I did to actually start seeing traffic and movement in my shop coming up. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. So glad you're here. If this is our first time meeting, I'm Kate. I'm a wife, mom, Etsy seller, and business coach, and I'm here to help you start and scale your online business so that you can make a full-time income doing what you love. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I would love for you to subscribe. Just hit that button down below, and also don't forget to turn on your notifications by hitting the little bell button to make sure that you don't miss any of our new weekly videos. Okay, so like I mentioned before, today we're talking about how to drive traffic to your Etsy shop, how to actually get things moving, right? Because when you first start your online shop, it can feel really empty and it can feel like you don't know what to do next to actually get people there, let alone to start making sales. So real quick, before we hop into the 3 strategies, I want to make sure you understand why this is a problem on Etsy, specifically with how the algorithm works when you are a new seller. So Etsy is a really powerful platform to start on because it has a huge organic audience of millions and millions of shoppers that are going to come to Etsy no matter what they're looking for. They are Etsy shoppers. So you automatically, when you become an Etsy seller, have millions of shoppers right there at your fingertips. The problem is there are also tons of sellers. So the algorithm has to determine which listings should be shown in the search results when someone types in a phrase for something they're searching for. And not only which listings should be shown in those results, but how they should be ranked and what order they're considered most relevant for that shopper. One huge part of how the algorithm ranks listings is the listing quality score, which is based on how well and how often that listing actually converts into a sale. So if you have no sales happening in your shop, it can be hard for your listings to actually start ranking and being found organically in the search. So does that mean Etsy is just kind of a pointless platform? Absolutely not, because once you get that momentum and you start ranking organically, you'll be found by all of those shoppers that are on the platform. It just takes a few sales to start stacking on your listings before you'll actually start being shown. So I love Etsy still because of that huge organic audience that you have potential to tap into, but it is up to you in the beginning to really get some movement and traction going in your shop, to get the momentum going and to get those first few sales on your own from external sources without really relying on the algorithm on Etsy to be showing you to shoppers in the beginning. Once you get some sales going, you get some of that sales stacking going, your listings are starting to increase their quality score, you're starting to rank higher and higher organically in the search, then the process sort of just becomes a snowball and you don't have to worry as much about external marketing. But in the beginning, it's really smart to lean heavy into marketing on external platforms to drive your own traffic to your Etsy shop and get those first few sales. So today we're talking about 3 forms of digital marketing or strategies that you can use off of Etsy to drive that traffic and get things rolling. I have used all 3 of these in my business and have seen major success using a combination of these 3, but I do want to mention that I don't want you to think this is like an overnight success thing. These are foundational strategies for your business that's going to set your business up for the long term. Okay, so let's jump right into strategy number 1, and this is content marketing. Content marketing is where you're going to be creating and giving value to your target audience member for free. It's providing content that's going to serve your ideal customer and solve a problem for them. This can be in a lot of different forms. It can take the form of video, audio, written content, graphic content, and it also encompasses a wide variety of types of content. So you could have inspirational content, educational, entertainment. But there's a few things that you can ask yourself to really niche down on what the right type of content for you to create would be. Question number 1 to ask yourself is, who is my ideal customer and what problems do they currently have? Also, what are they already online searching for the answer to? The key here is that you're going to be giving free value and building trust with your ideal customer for them to notice your brand and realize that you have something to offer that can really serve and help them. Then after you've identified who your target customer is, what type of problem they might currently have, then you can ask yourself, what type of content can I provide for them that'll help solve this problem, meet them where they are, and serve them in a really helpful way? Once we have the answer to this, we're talking about figuring out what category and what type of content will work best for your brand. So the three main types of content you can think about here is educational content, inspirational content, or entertaining content. All of these, even the entertainment, will solve a problem for your ideal customer in some way. So once you figure out of those three, which is the best for your ideal customer, what's going to meet them where they are to serve them and help them solve their problem the best, then you can ask yourself, what actual type of content will deliver this message in the most effective way? Like I mentioned before, this could be video content, audio content, written content, or graphic content. So let's talk about platforms to actually deliver this content. Where are you actually going to be putting this up? Where are they going to be consuming this content? It depends on the type you decided on. So if you decided on video content and you say, yeah, I would be totally up for getting in front of the camera, making some video content that's going to help and serve my target audience, then I would consider a platform like YouTube for long form content or Instagram or TikTok for short form video. If you decide on audio content, then a podcast is probably what's going to be best for you. If you think to yourself, no, I don't really want video or audio, but I could definitely write out some text and have written content, then probably the best fit is going to be a blog. And if you're really interested in images or graphics, then you might consider Instagram or Pinterest. All of these can really be great platforms to deliver free content to your customers, but the key here is to make sure that you're creating the right type of content. So this is going to be content that's either searchable or shareable. So what I mean by this is, for instance, on YouTube, we know that YouTube is a search engine, which makes it more likely for people to be on there actually already searching for answers to specific problems. If you can create content on YouTube that answers specific problems that your ideal customer is already on there searching for, then you're more likely to be discovered by them and to make that connection through your content. If you're thinking you want to connect to your ideal customer through more like inspirational posts or funny memes, things like that, then that's not as much searchable content as it is more shareable. So on a platform like Instagram, if you post a really inspiring quote, chances are the people that discover it are going to want to share that. It's really easily shareable across the board. And the other key to content marketing is making sure that you're being really intentional with the type of content you're creating it with your target audience in mind, the type of person that you want to draw in as a potential customer in the future, as opposed to just building a huge audience full of cold leads that have no interest in what you're actually going to be offering as far as your products go in the future. So your content that you're offering needs to be somehow related to the types of products that you're going to be offering if you're a product-based business, to ensure that the people and the leads that you're drawing in with your content are going to be interested in what you can give them in the future. All right, strategy number 2 to drive traffic to your Etsy shop is to make use of influencer collaborations. So this pairs hand in hand with social media marketing and what we've already been talking about, content marketing, because a lot of that is happening on social media platforms. But inside my signature course, Etsy Income Academy, I teach my students on what we call the 3-step marketing roadmap that talks about the 3 best forms of digital marketing to drive traffic to your shop. And one of these is social media marketing. So what we talk about inside the course is actually just focusing on one social media platform in the beginning to really focus in on that one platform and make the most use of it and get the most familiar with it that you can. So keeping that in mind, when we're talking about collaborating with influencers, we're thinking about the one social media platform that we've really honed in on. So what I mean by an influencer collaboration is actually seeking out influencers who already have a bit of an audience built that you can partner with to have a win-win on both sides. So them partnering with you provides them a win for their audience, and you partnering with that influencer provides you a win because it's going to get you in front of more people to begin with, so you don't have to start from scratch. There are a lot of different types of collaborations, everything from doing a joint giveaway to a featured shout out of your shop on their social media platform. So the benefits of this are pretty obvious. Like I just mentioned, you don't have to start from scratch trying to build an audience. You can actually tap into someone else's audience and get your products and your shop seen in front of hopefully hundreds or thousands of people from day one, instead of having to wait and just really work from the ground up trying to build your own from scratch. Another great thing about influencers is that they not only have an audience built up, but they've built trust over time with their audience. So the people that are following that influencer have seen them, they know them, they like them, and they trust them. So they're going to trust their recommendations. When that influencer recommends or endorses your product, it means a lot more because of the trust that's already been built up than if they just randomly discovered you one day out of the blue and have no clue who you are, and you're saying, hey, go buy my thing, they might love it, but then they're going to trust that influencer more because they have an already built relationship with them. So you're tapping into the audience itself, you're tapping into the trust that's been built, and you're getting some great exposure. So there's a few keys here. When you're looking for which influencers to partner with, like I mentioned, you want to think about what social media platform you're already on, but you also want to look for micro influencers as opposed to mega influencers. We're looking for influencers that ideally have probably under 20,000 followers. Now, this number varies depending on what platform you're talking about, but in general, a micro influencer will have under 20,000 followers as opposed to a larger influencer who might have a bigger audience, but at that point is probably not going to be as willing to work with a startup company. Micro influencers not only are more willing to work with startups, but also have a more engaged audience, believe it or not. The larger an influencer gets and the larger their audience gets, actually the less engaged their audience becomes. So when you work with a micro influencer, you're working with someone who's still small enough to really pay attention to startup brands like you, and who also have an audience full of really engaged people who want to hear what that influencer has to say. Now remember, you want to attract warm leads, which means that you need to look for influencers whose audience is similar or the same as your ideal audience. It wouldn't make any sense if you sell like baby blankets to then reach out to an influencer that's all about gardening, right? They have nothing to do with each other. You would want to look for an influencer that's all about family, maybe newborns, parenting, that kind of thing, so that you know the people that are following that influencer have similar interests and are probably going to like what you have to offer in that niche. So when you've identified several different influencers that you know you'd love to collaborate with, it's really easy to just reach out to them either through their email address or DM them on Instagram if that's the platform they're on. Find the best way that they put out there for you to contact them and give them your pitch or your proposal. This pitch doesn't need to be really lengthy. It needs to be short, clear, and concise, but also really friendly and conversational. You definitely want to address them by their first name. And it's great to even mention a recent piece of content that you've noticed that you really loved by them and reference a specific piece of that content or part of it to show that you actually did watch it or you actually did read it. This will automatically help you to stand out from the crowd of other proposals that they're getting from other brands. In your proposal, you want to make sure to mention exactly what you're thinking for the collaboration and how it's going to benefit them and their audience. We know this is a win for you, but you really need to put the focus on how this is a win for them to help them to see this is going to benefit you and your audience. So you want to mention to them if they're going to be gifted some free product or if you're thinking of a paid sponsorship, and also how your product could really serve their audience. Bonus points if you offer an exclusive discount code for their audience to use. Helping them to see the benefit for them and their audience is going to help you land the deal. Now, if they respond and they say they're interested, then that's the time to negotiate back and forth and decide on the terms of the agreement. You want to make sure to make it really clear and align on things like what social media platform this is going to be posted on, what types of posts it's going to be, how many posts, the time frame or the deadline for the deliverables, payment terms if there's monetary compensation involved, all of those things which you can research further, but then you want to definitely make sure that you have an agreement that you both sign for the collaboration. It may sound like a lot, but trust me, it is so worth it, especially in the beginning if you're having trouble getting traction, getting traffic to your shop. Getting in front of a few of those influencers' audiences and being recommended by them can help skyrocket your shop right from day one. Okay, now that we've covered content marketing and influencer collaborations, let's move on to strategy number 3, which is probably the most important, and this is email marketing. Now, I know this doesn't sound exciting. Email has been around forever. It's not the newest thing on the block, but let me tell you, I say it's the most important because it truly is. Ask any business that's had success in the online space, and I bet they'll tell you that the majority of their sales come straight from their email list as opposed to their social media marketing. Both are really important, but the email is something that's easy to overlook and easy to kind of push off in the beginning, thinking that it's not necessary, when really I would totally encourage you to do it right from the beginning. The main benefits to having an email list is that number one, like I mentioned, research has proved that it has the highest ROI or return on investment when compared to things like social media marketing. And number two is that you own your email list. So it's not dependent on an algorithm that could change or go down at any time like social media is. When you have built up an email email list, you have all of those email addresses of potential customers right there at your fingertips in the list that you own so that you can contact them at any time and be sure that your email is going to be delivered to them. Whereas on social media, your posts are dependent on if the algorithm feels like showing your post to your followers that day. You could have a huge audience of followers on social media, but only a fraction of them actually see your posts. So it's definitely never too early to start building your email list, even if you're starting from scratch. And I actually have a whole video on my passive income channel all about how to build your email list if you're starting from scratch. And it walks you through step by step what you need to do to get that email list going and to start getting subscribers to your email list. So if you're interested in that, I'll have that video linked in the description box below and you can click and watch that after this one. But let me tell you, I wish I had started my email list sooner. So once you start building your email list, then the important thing is to continue consistently communicating with your email subscribers to nurture them and to keep them a list of warm leads for when you're ready to then broadcast out a discount, a flash sale, a promotion of some sort. They remember your brand because you've been consistently communicating with them. Now, you're not going to be just selling to them all the time. There's a wide variety of different types of emails that you can send, and I would definitely recommend you look into that further. But nothing beats having a whole list of warm leads of people that have raised their hand and said, yes, I'm interested in what you have to offer, so that you know when you have a discount or a promotion of some sort, you're going to get a great response when you send out that email to your list. So quickly, I just want to mention a brief overview of the steps involved in getting your email list started. If you watch that video that's linked in the description box below, that'll go into a deeper dive. But just quickly, here are the steps to get started. Number one, you want to choose your email service provider. So this is going to be the software or the platform that you use to actually manage your email list, to send emails from. And there are a lot of choices on this, but I would recommend choosing an ESP that also gives you the capability for landing pages and delivering lead magnets. We'll talk about that more in just a minute, but there are some email service providers that have all of it included. My favorite is ConvertKit, but there's also some like MailChimp and Flowdesk, which are really good. You'll have to look into and compare and contrast the features of each and the pricing of each, most of which have at least a free plan that you can begin with and then upgrade later if you need to. I have ConvertKit linked in the description box below if you're interested in trying that out for free. Now, you want to make sure that you also have a business email address to connect to your email service provider so that when you send an email out, when it shows the from email address, it's not using your personal email, it's using your business email. So it looks really professional and it says from so-and-so company at gmail.com, or even better, if you already have a custom domain, you could have it at your customdomain.com. Either one is going to look way more professional than using a personal email address. Next, you need to decide on and create your lead magnet. You'll learn all about lead magnets in that video that I mentioned on my passive income channel, but just a quick description here. A lead magnet is basically just a freebie that you're offering to your target customer to get them to sign up for your email address. These days, pretty much no one is going to sign up for an email newsletter. They don't want more emails in their inbox if they're not receiving something in return. So you need to give them something of free value in exchange for them signing up for your list. This could be a coupon code for a discount on their next purchase. This could be an educational PDF download of some sort. There are tons of different lead magnet ideas, and I actually have compiled a whole list of ideas for lead magnets if you're stuck on that, linked in the description box below if you're interested, totally free to you, but that'll give you a whole list of different ideas of what you could use as your freebie or your lead magnet to get people to start signing up for your list. Once you've decided on your lead magnet, then you're going to create what's called a landing page. So this is a really simple and easy one page that you're going to use with a form on it that asks for their name and email address. Really simple, easy to create. And once they fill out that form, you're going to set it up in your email service provider, assuming that's who you're using for your landing page as well, to then automatically deliver that lead magnet, whatever it is. So they're entering their information to sign up for your list, and in exchange, they automatically get delivered the free thing. Then a great next step is to set up an automated welcome sequence. So this is a series of like 3 or 4 or 5 emails that automatically go out to your new email subscriber from your email service provider that you've already written and set up ahead of time. So every time someone new comes on your list, you're sending out an automated series of welcome emails, just introducing you, introducing your brand, and really starting to engage with them. Now, some email service providers subscribers won't give you the option to do this on the free plan, so you have to look into the features of your specific ESP to see if this is something that they offer or if you need to upgrade to a paid plan. Then once you have everything set up, you're going to start promoting that link to your freebie, talking about your lead magnet. Hey, come get my free thing that I'm offering, and give the URL or the link to your landing page. You're going to promote this everywhere you can, every social media platform you're on. If you already have connections, you're going to be sending this out to whoever you can to start generating leads. Then the last most important step here that continues forever is that you need to be nurturing and emailing your email list subscribers on a regular basis. And this is a cadence that works for you. So decide, can I send out a weekly newsletter? Does it need to be twice a week? Is it every other week? Whatever cadence works for you is fine, but you want to make sure it's on a regular rhythmic basis so that your email subscribers don't forget about you and you keep your brand top of mind. If you're doing this in the right way, then you have a healthy, full list of warm leads on your email list that you've been communicating with, so that when you do have a discount or a flash sale or promotion you want to let them know about, they're ready and excited to jump on it. Okay, friends, so I know that was a lot condensed into this video. I know there's a lot of information and it might seem overwhelming, but trust me, this is a system that you want to set up as the foundation for the marketing in your business, because once you do, it's set up for the life of your business. It is a good bit of work up front, but trust me, it will be so worth it, and you will thank yourself in the long run for the traffic and sales that it's going to be bringing in the future. Now, I have that email list building video teed up on the screen here. You can click or tap on the square on the screen to hop over and watch that on my other channel. Again, that's just going to give you a deep dive into how to start building your email list from scratch, talking about all the details of creating a lead magnet, a landing page, and everything else you need to know. Bye, friends.